Good morning and welcome into the number one group of five college football show in the entire universe. This is the Group of Five Guys. Our mission is to be the voice for the Group of Five football programs, the voice that the mainstream sports media absolutely refuses to be. We need your help to do that. Hit the follow button on all the social platforms at Group of Five Guys. Go to YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Believe Network, wherever you get your best podcasts. Subscribe to the channel, leave a 5-star rating and a review. Most importantly, tell your family and friends all about us. On this episode, we're going to talk about the Disney and YouTube TV dispute that still has not been resolved. We're going to talk about college football playoff implications and those games from the weekend and plenty more. Hope you enjoyed the show. This is the Group of Five Guys, and we are coming to you live.
They got Old Dominion week 3, and ODU is by no means a layup. Group of Five Guys told me that, so that has to be true.
We looked at each other, we was like, Mike, the best place to be is a Group of Five. So I'm sitting here with the Group of Five guys, right?
Detroit has won. It's been a winner, and it's a special place, so it's why you want the job.
But it's a ton of fun to watch a guy go to the NFL from a Nevada or a Colorado State or a Middle Tennessee or an App State, and fans follow that kid.
It was across there. You want to have this thing packed out, have the student section packed out, giving those guys hell on the sideline. I mean, that's part of it. I mean,
win or lose, like we're winning the tailgate.
There's no better place to be developed in this country than Boise State.
Jeff, we had another weekend where, you think you know what we're talking about sometimes. Sometimes we do, but then other times you just can't be more confused. Can't be more inconsistent with the play that we're seeing on the field. We got a bunch of coaches fired again. A lot going on here in November of 2025.
So many different things, so many different causes, I think, to why we're seeing the performance that we're seeing on the field. Specifically this season. I have a theory, Sprouse, and it ties into what we're going to talk about at the beginning of the show.
Really? Mm-hmm. I'm all for placing the blame game on somebody. But hey, before we get into that stuff, check out a couple of our partners. Deca Gray Coffee Company. We've been talking about them for a couple of years. Roast to order coffee. So visit decagray.com. Put whatever blend you want. They've got multiple. They've got whole bean coffee, ground coffee, and K-Cups. Put it in your cart. Put in our promo code GOFG. That is when they roast the coffee, bag it, and ship it directly to your doorstep. Promo code gets you 10% off and free shipping. Also, Levels Sports Picks. A lot going on with Levels. Every sport in the world is going on. Baseball finally over, but every sport in the world going on this time of year. So Vandy and Coach, they're just putting out plays left and right. And then, of course, we're putting out some Group of Five plays every single week, midweek games, weekend games, all that. So check out those best plays. Check out the link in our bio on all the socials. It's Level Sports Picks. It's awesome, awesome family, awesome Discord. Now, I don't know about you, Jeff. I did not cave over the weekend.
Oh, I caved.
I did not cave, and I'll tell you what I did. This was my plan. So my in-laws were here, of course, because it's my middle kid's birthday, and then Halloween is a big holiday around here. So my in-laws were here, and they have Hulu. So, and I have YouTube. So I was like, well, I'm not about to cancel and switch and all that. And then so they logged into my laptop, and then I just had, if I wanted those games on. But I'll tell you what I did cave into is because of that, I had to go to a pumpkin patch on Saturday.
Oh boy.
Yeah. The Callaway Gardens Pumpkin Light Festival, or whatever the hell they call it. I mean, look, dude, it's a cool deal. A couple hours, got out there in the evening. So I got to catch all the early games that were not on ESPN, and then catch the end of most of the late games. But we still have a dispute. And Jeff, this is simply two massive companies, one in particular in Disney, Disney is trying to force everybody to go to their platform, Hulu, which they also own. And they know that nobody cares about ESPN at all. Look, ESPN, for all their flaws, they do one thing better than anybody, and it's live sports. And so they know in college football season, people care more about that than anything else. Like if this was done during NBA season, no, I don't think anybody even tweets about it. And so they do it during college football season because they know people want to watch their team and they have a borderline monopoly on the games that majority of people want to watch. And so, I don't know what kind of, I'm never for government regulations. I don't know what kind are involved with this kind of stuff, but I mean, it seems like what they're doing is borderline illegal.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically holding your customer base hostage, which is a crazy thing to do. But when you are the worldwide leader in sports, and it's not technically a monopoly, what are you going to do? I mean, I was like, I want to watch these games. So I was like, all right, I'll get it, and I'll just cancel in a month when they finally figure out their deal. But we've been talking about it for a couple of years with going to all these platforms, getting away from cable, getting away from, the one platform that allows you access to everything, and all the different companies pay to be on that. So we've got this, new model over the last couple of years. It's pulling everybody in a subscription based own individual box. And when the consumer looks at it, I have to have 12 different subscriptions to have everything. And it's costing me more than it did when I had just the regular old, coax cable coming into my house. So it's just, man, it feels like everything right now, from the cable you watch to the product on the field to the coaching carousel that's going on right now, Sprouts. I mean, can you remember a year in as long as we've been alive that you had Auburn, Florida, Penn State, if Clemson comes up, like you're having so many, quote unquote, big programs, recognizable brands. And we're in week 10 of college football that their jobs are open. Like I can't remember it. And the point I was made at the top of the show where I'm going to tie all this together, I can't remember a season where you've seen all teams. They'll play really good one week, really bad the next. You never know who's going to lose. There's no consistency whatsoever. And when you look at all this collectively with the coaching carousels that we've had over the last couple of years, a lot of it's tied into NIL, the transfer portal. You look at what the transfer portal's done. You look at all these different factors. And when you're a coach, you're trying to build a long-term successful program. And what you have to have is continuity. It's impossible to have continuity, especially over the last 5 years. You have essentially an entire new roster every single year outside of a couple guys. You can't, it's so difficult to build a culture. And unless you got the money to just go out and get great players every single year, talent will always cover the inability to build a culture because you just have better athletes. But they're outside of 2 or 3 programs a year, they're the only ones that have the means to do that. So you're seeing this lack of continuity, lack of bodies to build that culture. You have guys that are coming in every single year, so you can't advance the offense and defense from a schematic standpoint. It's like very vanilla. It's very dumbed down. And when you ask your guys to do too much, you're seeing so many mistakes and penalties and turnovers and all these things. So I think all this together is affecting the play on the field. And then when you're a coach, you're not there for longer than 2 or 3 years because you're in the Amazon Prime era where everybody wants to win right now. And if you don't win right now, nobody has any patience. I don't know where this goes, but it's a bad product on the field. You got coaches that are getting $70 million, $50 million, $40 million buyouts, which at some point is going to bankrupt, you would think, these institutions. Like, it ain't good.
No. You mentioned the talent covering most of the time, and that's where we've seen this year in particular. You've seen South Florida, Tulane, Boise at times where they'll win, but you watch the game and you come away like they look terrible, but they're so good that they'll still win that game, even playing terribly, because the other teams are also inconsistent, also don't have continuity. They're just not as talented of players. And so you're seeing the talented team come away with the win a lot of these times, but it just doesn't look pretty. Back to the cable thing, Jeff. I just got to say one more thing, and I know we got to move on because I could spend an hour talking about YouTube TV. Which, by the way, I just wish there was somebody on this podcast that warned you people about this 3 years ago. I mean, you want to talk about they may write about me in my my prophecies. But Jeff, when I saw a calculated agenda of coaches and TV personalities and conference accounts and program accounts all around the same time tweet or make some heartfelt video. Oh, YouTube's trying to take away whenever they all, it reminded me of when in Hollywood, they go on a campaign, they all get together and they say, we're all going to come out and say the same heartfelt message about whatever, about politics or, whatever it may be. And 99% of the time, they're full of shit and they're wrong. And so that was my immediate reaction when I saw Herb Street. Oh, they're going to take away Scott Van Pelt. Oh, poor Disney. I mean, the mom and pop Walmart's coming in and pushing us out. We're the mom and pop local guy, Disney, and big Walmart's coming in to push us out. Big cables coming to push us out. A startup streaming platform. Get out of here, dude. I don't know how. What was pissing me off more than anything, Jeff, is people on Twitter blaming YouTube for it. Now, I get canceling because you have no choice if you really want to watch. I do. But to blame YouTube for it, oh, blah, 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 YouTube. Then you're going to also be mad when YouTube raises the prices.
Mm-hmm.
When they do eventually cave. You're going to be mad about that. When it's clear what's happening. They're being strong-armed by a company that has the product that everybody wants, and they're the only one that can get it. And so that's what we have.
That's continuing to ruin the Star Wars franchise to boot. Don't get me started on that.
I'm telling you this, Jeff. There's nothing like, I know we get on here, we kind of jokingly talk about ESPN. And again, look, hey, if Disney has some extra money when they raise their prices on YouTube, there's a couple of guys wanting to do a group of 5 segment, we'll do it. But like everything they do to me ruins everything they touch, they ruin. In my opinion, because here's the other thing. Their app sucks.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're going to come over to this awesome platform that we have. Like, I've been on the ESPN app and all that stuff. It's terrible. You can't even check the scores half the time. Have you ever tried to look at a ESPN Gamecast when you're just like real quick checking, like, how'd that happen? Oh, they were up 3 touchdowns. What happened? And it's just all out of order and all out of place. And it doesn't update. I mean, I'm supposed to trust that to watch the games? I mean, come on, man. Anyway. You want to talk about some football?
Yeah, let's do it. We got a lot to get into, and we got a ton of voicemails. We got a lot of new callers. I'm loving it.
Good.
I had to pull out the old bleep button for Joe Judkins.
Oh, thank God.
Pete's Dragon.
Yeah, tough to. You know what I did watch on Saturday night? Sorry, Game 7 of the World Series. Oh, unbelievable!
It was great.
I can't believe I've been missing out. The Marlins are so bad that I haven't been watching baseball.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
A's are terrible.
Anyway, so let's start with these games. We'll roll through some of them, but we'll start with these games that had major CFP implications. Friday night, Halloween night, Memphis 38, Rice 14. You know, Jeff, I said that this was going to be a game that it had the recipe for a letdown game, and Memphis handled business. They came in, they jumped on them early. Brendan Lewis, when he's healthy, and this was part of our analysis on Memphis in the preseason. He's such a threat with his feet that it's exactly what we talked about. It just gives them a dynamic that they've not had. And he ran it all over the place. They weren't able to really run it without him on Friday night, but he ran it all over the place, threw it pretty good. And then defensively, and Memphis just totally shut down Rice, shut down everything on that offense we thought might be a little tricky. Memphis handled it.
Yeah, that's the thing about defensively when you're playing a triple option type of team. If you can just completely crush the line of scrimmage and play on their side, it doesn't matter what they do. And that's what you saw. You saw the physicality of Memphis's front just overwhelm Rice's offensive line. And then you talked about Lewis, and then shut out Frank Pizant getting in the end zone, 3 touchdowns on the day. Happy for the former Blue Raider getting an opportunity at Memphis. Always hate but love to see that as well.
And Memphis, all the expectations would be that they're just going to run through Tulane on Friday night. But, the inconsistency of some of these teams, you just don't know.
No,
you don't know.
You don't know. And I do want to shout out Sam Brumfield, linebacker for Memphis. He is every play. He is just around the ball. He is a great player. He's got a nose for the football. Led the team in tackles against Rice. Like he is a big time player for that defense. Just wanted to shout him out.
Navy, North Texas. So this was Navy's first test in their gauntlet, and they did not pass it. North Texas, to me, what I love the most about North Texas is they offensively, when something's working, they hammer it. They don't force 45 passes from Mestemaker. Last week, Mestemaker threw for 600-something yards, 40-something attempts. This week, only 24 passing attempts. And he was efficient doing it. But this was Caleb Hawkins' game. 33 carries for 197 and 4 touchdowns. And that's like the second or third game where Caleb Hawkins has went off. And they do such a great job of being capable of doing everything. So it keeps the defense balanced. You can't sell out for one or the other. But then when it's working, they just keep on doing it. They don't say, oh, well, we got this great quarterback. We have to throw it this many times. Well, we'll throw it when we need to, but we're running it and it's working. We're going to keep running it. So I love that about North Texas. And they've maybe been the most consistent team out of all of these teams. I mean, again, we've talked about it since that game. That South Florida game, yes, they lose by 3 touchdowns or whatever it was. But it was that 5-minute span where South Florida turned it on. Other than that, man, that was stride for stride, toe to toe. North Texas to me is in a great spot.
I think they're in an outstanding spot. And my former OC, who's now the OC at Georgia Tech, doing phenomenal, Buster Faulkner, always used to tell us in the QB room to play quarterback. And I think this sentiment transfers to offensive coordinators as well, calling plays. You have to have a high capacity for boredom. You have to be okay with taking what the defense gives you and doing it over and over and over and over again until they stop. And if they don't, you just continue to do that and you'll win the game. And that's what North Texas does. They don't care if they're throwing it. They don't care if they're running it. They don't care if it's fast screens. They don't care. It's whatever the defense is allowing them to take. They will take it all game long until you take it away, and then we can make adjustments. So shout out to Eric Morris and that offense. They have just done a great job, and that's such a great point, Sprouse, you made. That 5-minute stretch in that game, they could potentially be undefeated.
Yeah.
And their defense is so much improved from the last couple of years.
With the difficult part of their schedule done. I mean, they're in a great spot. The only thing that's keeping them potentially out of the championship game is the head-to-head loss to South Florida. Yeah. That's it. And now I'm trying to figure out all the scenarios, but there's so many 1-loss teams and 2-loss teams and all that. but it'll work itself out. It will definitely work itself out. East Carolina and Temple, boy. So this game was 14-14, and it was looking to be this heavyweight fight. We kind of thought it was. And then East Carolina, I mean, that defense, they totally shut down Temple. Temple couldn't do anything in the run game. Evan Simon, who, by the way, somebody told you he was going to throw his first interception on the show before the game. I mean, Steeple thinks he's the Nostradamus. I mean, you might be looking at him. Sproustradamus. But Simon, 11 of 20, 80 yards only. I mean, this is a guy that's been prolific all season long. East Carolina totally shuts them down. They're so fast. They fly to the ball. They put so much pressure on the quarterback. And then they've gotten better, haven't totally resolved it, their turnover issues from a year ago, which is the difference in so many of these games.
Well, this team has been predicated on defense for so many years, and what they've been lacking is the offensive production on the other side. It seems like this year, for the most part, they've figured that out on offense. Hauser's done a much, much better job of protecting the football. And when you do that, it allows your great defense. It allows your team to be in every game. And then if you can protect the football and you give me 358 yards on the ground with that stable of running backs, you're going to win. You're going to be in great spots to win football games. So shout out to the Pirates. They look good offensively, defensively, and it's not just, hey, we're going to run it every single time. They're pushing the ball down the field vertically too. They got a lot of great things going. They got a lot of playmakers on offense, kind of similar to North Texas in a way. It could be could be Gunn one week. You just don't know who's going to be the guy, but they got plenty of them on offense, and they just spread it around each game. And then, yeah, when you got a defense that shuts them out in the second half, I mean, you're going to be in most games. So Pirates look great. This American Conference, man, it is going to come down to the last couple weeks, and I still think we're going to get some type of a tie to get into the championship game.
Well, and East Carolina hosts Memphis in a couple of weeks. You want to talk about ruining everything, because then that's what I think what North Texas needs is for either South Florida to lose again or Memphis to lose one of these, right?
Yeah.
I think either one.
You said that's at
East
Dowdy? Carolina. I'm telling you, if you can get that place rocking, damn near sold out, that's a game right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, so those were the American games. East Carolina kind of, I was looking at that it would be some chaos. But I think, I have my little tiers of how the playoff thing is going to work out. And I still think you have that 1-loss American champ or 2-loss American champ, South Florida. I think James Madison has jumped a 2-loss American champion, a non-South Florida 2-loss American champion. I think they have. I don't.
Express, you want to talk about Nostradamus?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you called that, and then every major media outlet called it immediately. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to be transparent with everybody here. We text all the time. We talk a lot of trash about some of these teams when we watch. I think right now, I'm not saying this is how the playoff is going to happen. I think you have 3 teams. I think you have South Florida, Memphis, and James Madison. And then you could maybe toss a North Texas in there. I think South Florida is by far the most talented, and if they play their best game, they're the best team. I do. I think they, talent-wise, can match up with a lot of people. And if they get the right matchup and Byron Brown plays to his ability, I think it gives them a chance. They're also probably the least consistent of these teams. James Madison, I think, is the most consistent with this team, at least on defense. That James Madison defense has not had a game this year where they just look lost. They haven't had it. But they maybe are not, and this might be a reach, they maybe are not as talented as a South Florida or a Memphis. And then I think Memphis is kind of in the middle. They're not quite as talented as South Florida. They're a little more talented than James Madison, and they're more consistent than South Florida, not as consistent. I think they're kind of hanging out there. And then North Texas, I think, is just good enough offensively that they can score with anybody that they play. So that's kind of my thought on if one of those teams makes the playoff.
Well, I'm going to throw one more in there. Their road has been a lot easier than a lot of other teams, but with San Diego State's defense, their offense is slowly starting to figure it out, put up some points. Hadn't really been battle tested, lost to Washington State earlier in the year. But, man, when you got a stout defense, it gives you a shot. I just wanted to at least throw their name in the hat, because if they go one loss and win the Mountain West, they're going to be in the conversation.
I agree, because, even though Boise is reeling a little bit, they'll have a win at Boise. They may have to win twice versus Boise.
Beat Cal.
That's not, San Diego State. They remind me of a little bit James Madison from the beginning of the year, where they were really good on defense, but they just inconsistent at the quarterback spot. They were doing the 2 quarterback thing. It's kind of where San Diego State is to me. They're not, Denegal sometimes looks pretty good, other times not great. I mean, he didn't look great this weekend against Wyoming at all. And to me, that's what's keeping them out of the legitimate contender conversation. But I mean, Mountain West right now doesn't look great. You talk about, so here, UNLV losing. You see that game, by the way?
Oh, I did.
Unbelievable game.
I had New Mexico win that game.
New Mexico goes up 20. This has been the MO for UNLV all season long, and they've been able to come away with wins. New Mexico goes up 21-0. And then UNLV comes all the way back and ties it. This is what I like about New Mexico is they normally, you give up a 21-0 lead, you're going to talk about an unraveling and a collapse. And they didn't budge. And then they went and scored 2 more right after that. And then they went back up 34-21. Then UNLV comes back, takes the lead 35-34, and then New Mexico gets it last. They score last. But, UNLV's been they made a living doing that all season long, and it finally caught up to them. So.
Yeah. And New Mexico, man, shout out Jason Eck. The dude's got a pair on him. It was a tie ball game, I believe, and UNLV had all the momentum in the world, and they're right on there. I think they were on their 45, and they run a fake punt. They snap it to the up back. He runs up and does a jump pass. Perfect. First down. They gain 20 yards. And then they go down. I believe they scored on the drive. I cannot remember, but that was like a stifling UNLV's momentum. Let's continue to run more clock, give our offense another opportunity to get on the field and keep our defense on the sideline. To do that in that position, and then just to have your guys ready to go in a hostile environment, win a tough game on the road. Shout out to him. And then post game, he retweeted. I just thought it was hilarious. Yeah. Dude's doing a little selfie on the plane, just had a little Zinachini and then the bottom shelf.
A little lip pillow in there.
No doubt about it. He just seems like a guy, like a great dude that you just want to hang out with.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not saying him in particular, but they're going to have to start looking at, you have to peel back the onion for what coaches are going to get what job. Listen, Lane Kiffin might not go anywhere. And if he goes somewhere, that's one. You might get John Summerall. You might get him, but everybody's not getting him.
That's what I'm saying. You can only go one place.
So, by the way, you mentioned Buster Faulkner. I think he's getting a head job. I think so.
Yeah. I hope he does.
And unfortunately for us, I thought it would have been a Group of 5 job, but unfortunately the success, although they lost this weekend, but he might get a,
I know we got to get to these games. I'll make this point quick. There are jobs out there. Like these coaches, this is my message to the coaches out there, whether you're Group of 5, FCS, wherever. You got to really look at the opportunity and the position of some of these jobs. This is just my personal opinion based off of information that I've gathered over the last couple of years and just what you see. I know Florida and Auburn look like great destinations, a lot of money, big time program in the SEC, all those things. I don't think those are jobs you can win at least not right now in this climate. Like, yeah, sure, you got all the money, but you better be able to win in 2 to 3 years max, or else you're getting fired. And yeah, maybe you want to you get great pay, you get, the severance pay, whatever, the buyout, you'll be making $50 million for the next 5 years. That's not a bad deal. for as far as going in and being able to build a culture and a foundation, it's damn near impossible in this day and age. And those schools, specifically those two, are basically ran by donors who don't know football, who don't know what it takes to build a culture, because if they knew, it would have already happened by now. And they're just burning through coaches, throwing tons of money at it, and it hasn't worked. So I guess, yeah, if you roll the dice on the crap table enough, you're going to come up 7 at some point. But I don't know. If I got kids and a wife, like we got a message from a friend of ours who was near Hugh Freeze walking out of the stadium. I mean, he was being yelled all type of names and this and that and all these things. It's like, when you got kids involved, like we've heard story of coaches' kids being cussed at and called names. Like, is that really what you want to be around? I'm cool. I'll take my 1.5 million or 2 million or whatever at a group of 5 school for 10 years, invest that money with Chuck Carson, and I'll be sitting good for the rest of my life. I'm good. And I get to coach ball and build a culture at a spot in the group of 5 rather than go over there and you know you're going to get fired and called all these different types of names and your family and kids got to do it. I don't know. I'm good.
But the thing about Auburn is they'll not only ruin your coaching legacy, they'll tear your character apart. I mean, they had Brian Harsin. They invented a whole cheating and affair scandal with his football ops girl or whoever, whatever she was. And look, dude, I get it. You want to win, but they'll do whatever it takes. They'll do to get somebody out of there. And so, anyway, we got to talk more about Jeff. The most frustrating team of the season for me has been Boise State. Fresno takes BTA, as the kids say, belts to ass to Boise over the weekend. And, Madsen got hurt, and he appears like he's going to be out a while. So real interesting to see what happens with the Mountain West. I mean, it's their first conference loss. So they're still right there. Now you're going to be without your quarterback, who hasn't been great. But I just want to talk about this offense because Madsen got 3 drives, okay? And they weren't good. It is, whether it's penalties pre-snap, bad play calling, bad throws, dropped passes, they kill themselves like nothing I've ever seen before. And like when we talk about the inconsistencies and all those things, to me, like drop passes and stuff, like that ain't got nothing to do with anything. You would think you would see inconsistencies with missed assignments or things of that nature, but we were just seeing drop passes, false starts all the time. I'm going to read you off their first couple of drives, play by play here. Not a lot of them, a lot of 3 and outs, Jeff. Their first drive, 6-yard run, good play. Incomplete pass, 3 and out. Second drive, no plays run yet. Holding, false start. Still haven't gotten a play. Still first and 20 now. First and 25. Or what is that? First and 30. So they go holding, false start, -4 pass, 0-yard run, 12-yard run, 3 and out. Third drive, this was Madsen's last drive. Incomplete pass, sack, 4-yard run, 3 and out. Then they get a decent drive here. You 3-yard run, 44-yard run, -1, false start, 6-yard pass, incomplete, field goal blocked. So 4 drives in. We've seen 1 completed pass, and it went for -4 yards so far. And then you've seen a blocked field goal. They had 1 touchdown all game. This was with the backup quarterback. But let me read you this drive, Jeff. 1 touchdown all game for Boise. And by the way, this tied the game. So this was not like they were down big. Okay. So here's this drive. Incomplete pass, 2-yard pass, 8-yard run, -4 run, 3-yard pass, 10-yard pass, 3-yard run, 9-yard run, 5-yard run, 3-yard run, 1-yard run, 10-yard touchdown pass. It's almost as if the run opened up the pass. Isn't that something? I mean, how many incompletions did I just read off right there, or negative yardage passes? Yeah. It is it is the most frustrating thing in the world to see on TV, dude. I mean, I don't know. I know the fans are frustrated too with it. It's not like this is us. Oh, the group of 5 guys hate Boise State. Then the fans do too. But it's been like this all year long, whether it's been Madsen or not.
I mean,
I don't get it.
When you have Malik Sherrod, Sire Gaines, and Dylan Riley in the backfield, I don't understand why in the beginning of the game we are not setting the tone one way or the other. You can get creative as you want, put both of these guys in the backfield. There's so many different things you can do, but they just don't attempt. Like, you have to force feed these guys. And now when you throw it on first down and it's incomplete, now you're 2nd and 10. Your playbook shrinks to what you can call. And then if you get it only 2 yards or whatever, or another incomplete, now it's 3rd and 10. Like, now it's even smaller. It makes the defense's life even easier. So, yeah, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating because they have so much talent and it just doesn't seem like it's being utilized.
Well, yeah, especially when when you pass so much, it's opening the door for more holding calls, false start. Your guys are jumping.
Yeah, penalties, though, you got to clean that up.
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't good. It's not good. And that's a place, and Jeff, for what it's worth, that's a place that did have a lot of their roster returning and did have their coaching staff. So I don't know, dude. I really don't know. Anyway, also in the Mountain West, San Jose State beat Hawaii. This was the San Jose State offense we thought we'd see. Scudero over 200 yards receiving, Smith 113, Scholes 109. I mean, they threw it all over the place. 400-something yards for Eget. I mean, just kind of one of those shootout games.
It was. This was a classic Mountain West after dark shootout, and you got to give credit to San Jose State. They offensively just were spinning it all over the field, and Hawaii just couldn't. They got outscored. That's what this game came down to, because El Hado had a good game. This was just a shootout, and whoever had the ball last was able to get it, and that was San Jose State. Big win for them.
Yep. All right, Jeff, let's roll through these real fast. I want to go in the American Conference standings update. Navy, Memphis, North Texas, Tulane, South Florida, East Carolina, all with 1 loss. North Texas probably has the easiest to finish out with just the 1 loss, but they have a head-to-head to South Florida, so we'll see. But UAB did not have game 2 under the interim coach bump. UConn, Fagiano, another 4 touchdowns, still 0 interceptions. So now he has surpassed, I think he's at 22 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So that, past what Simon was at 21 before he threw any interceptions. So Fagiano, UConn, again, this Northeast, dude, they're playing some ball. And then Cam Chadwick, the DB for UConn, had 3 interceptions. Yeah. So shout out to him. Good game. Army Air Force. I mean, what a wild game. How about Army up 7 with like 2 minutes to go on their own 30? And they go for it on 4th and 1 and it gets stuffed. And then Air Force goes and scores. And to be honest with you, I was wanting Air Force to go for 2 right there.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get out of this thing. Like, you're really yardage wise playing better than Army. You got to, I don't know. But then the thing that has been the Achilles heel for Air Force all year long, and it happened again, is they just let receivers get behind the defense. And it happened again, and then they get a chip shot field goal, win the game. So, yeah, Army.
Air Force had so many opportunities to pull away in this game, and they just couldn't happen. This is the first time I thought Zarka, I don't know if he was nervous, big game, playing Army, like whatever. He just didn't play very well. Had 2 picks. I mean, it wasn't his fault late in the game, but he gets blasted and the ball comes out when they were in the red zone. So got to give credit to Army and Monken and what they've been able to do. Every time it seems like they play Air Force. It was like at this game, the announcers were like, couldn't score a touchdown. They finally got the monkey off the back, but it's too late.
Yeah. Conference USA looking at standings. Kennesaw and Jack State both 4-0. Western Kentucky already 5-1 in conference. And then Liberty also just has the one loss. Jack State still has to play Kennesaw and Western Kentucky. And then Kennesaw still has to play Jack State and Liberty. So this thing's wide open in Conference USA. La Tech sitting there with 2 losses. They destroyed Sam Houston. Tough scene for Sam Houston. La Tech ran for 425 yards, explosive plays left and right. I mean, I don't know what has happened to Sam Houston. They weren't that bad. When we saw them in week 0, they weren't that bad.
No, I think the locker room is it just seems like they're uninterested. I don't know if that's Phil Longo, like that. That's the new regime that came in, right? So you gotta look there.
Yeah. And then well, Jeff, first week of November, and guess who's playing well? Guess who's got 3 straight wins? Guess whose quarterback has figured it out? Guess whose offense has figured it out? The Liberty Flames. 59-30 over Delaware. Evan Dickens, another big day on the ground for him. 22 carries, 217, 4 touchdowns. You're going to win a lot of games.
Yeah,
you do that.
I think this was the Liberty offense specifically that we were looking to see at the start of the year. And again, I say it year in and year out. It doesn't matter how you start. It's who peaks at the right time. And maybe they are. I don't know. I don't want to get too over my skis here, but you put up 59 points. That defense has got talent. I know they gave up 30, but Delaware's got a good offense. So if this offense can continue to roll and improve, they're right there in conference, and maybe they can get back in the championship game and win it.
Well, and then speaking of, I think we gave up on Western Kentucky, but all of a sudden Western Kentucky 7-2 overall. And I mean, they changed quarterbacks. Tisdale looked the part the other night. 30-38, 301, 4 touchdowns. I don't know, is McIver, is he injured, or is this a QB change? I know he got hurt.
Yeah, I know he was I think he suited up as like emergency, but who really knows, right? Tisdale gives them more different dynamic with his legs.
Yeah.
And he's been able to run around and make plays.
It was a rough night for Logan Fife. 13-39. I mean, 110 yards. Just a tough outing. Tough outing for New Mexico State. In the MAC, Miami is 4-0. Buffalo, Western Michigan, and Ohio all have 1 loss. And then Central Michigan, Toledo, Ball State, and Kent State all have 2 losses. And they all still play each other. So this is a standard MAC season. I do want to give a shout out to Buffalo, though. 28-3 win, but the stars for Buffalo. Victor Snow had 2 touchdowns, including a big punt return. And then Red Murdoch, 13 tackles, a sack, and set the NCAA FBS record for forced fumbles, passing another former Buffalo player, Khalil Mack. So 17 forced fumbles in his career for Red Murdoch. Still a couple games to go.
Yeah,
shout out to him.
Al-Jay Henderson, 119 yards and a touchdown. This looked like the Buffalo team with a stifling defense, an offense that can score points. This is why we had them ranked really high preseason.
Yep. Central Michigan, Western Michigan. The Western Michigan defense has played really well all season long. Completely shut down Central Michigan's run game. And then offensively, they did just enough to get by. Western Michigan's, they're pretty good. They got some head-to-head wins, too, that are going to help in this conference race. They're a pretty good club.
Yeah, Brock Lowry does leading rusher again for the Broncos, but man, Central Michigan. All I needed was a money line win. It was right there.
It, huh?
Big lotto was what everybody else had covered. New Mexico had covered. Oh, just brutal.
I know we talked about all the Mountain West games already, but
just had a daughter, Coach Strinkle.
Yeah, congratulations to him, man. Yeah, so you wish you could have got a win.
I know.
After that, but that's all right. Make the weekend not quite as bad. He had a new daughter to go home to, but so we got Mountain West standing. San Diego State's 4-0, Boise's 4-1, and then Fresno, Hawaii, New Mexico, Utah State, UNLV, San Jose State all have 2 losses. Of that group, San Diego State still has to play 4 of them. So, you mentioned it being a little bit of an easier road so far. Well, we'll find out real quick. And, Boise, I don't think even with Madsen, the way San Diego State's defense plays, I don't think Boise's offense was going to do much of anything against them, but you never know. Sun Belt standing. So you're pretty much down to the James Madison Coastal game in the East, which is, I believe, the final week of the season. The Arkansas State win over Troy puts them in a spot where if they beat Southern Miss, they'll win the West. Now, if Southern Miss beats Arkansas State, then it'll come down to Troy, Southern Miss in a few weeks for the West. So you're pretty much Arkansas State, Troy, Southern Miss in the West, Coastal, James Madison in the East. And, lo and behold, though, Jeff, the same old people right back in the mix. Arkansas State's been like this the last few years, too. They're like terrible all year long. And then week 10 comes around and you're like, oh, they're one game out and they play them next week.
They got a puncher's chance with Rayner. But I do this made me laugh, Sprouse. Janet Norwood in the chat goes, no Statesboro Sprouse this week. We need Mountaineer Murph.
You probably need Statesboro Sprouse because I'm 1-4, I think, in my Georgia Southern trips.
No
but
doubt.
what's that Thursday night, huh? Should be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a big one. But you look at the Sun Belt, Old Dominion, just dominant over Monroe. Louisiana over South. Lunch Winfield threw it a little bit, didn't he? 14 of 15, 232, 2 touchdowns. Louisiana, they didn't punt until late in the third quarter, and then they had too much of a lead for South to come back on them. So, and then you had that Arkansas State-Troy game. A little bit about that. Arkansas, 9 sacks. Troy gave up 9 sacks to Arkansas State, and they couldn't run it at all.
It's brutal.
Just kind of caught up to him a little bit. Maybe Kilcrease didn't have as good of a game, but probably because he was under duress all night long. So, before we get to the voicemails, tomorrow night, Maction begins. UMass at Akron. Akron's going to win, buddy. Akron,
absolutely.
Yeah, Akron is going to have. I mean, what are they at right now? 3 and they're not. You got Akron and Kent State. Kent State is still alive in the conference.
Akron's 3-6, 2-3 in the MAC.
3-6, you said?
Yeah, 3-6.
It'll be tough. And what's Kent?
3-5.
Oh, well. Never mind then. I was gonna say they might be fighting for bowl. I mean, they could still fighting for bowl eligibility. Akron will get to 4 this week. Then Miami is at Ohio. I don't know, dude.
It's gonna be a fun one.
I like Miami. I do. I think they're playing better, especially defensively. This time of year, this is when Miami shines.
Ohio has been so inconsistent all year, kind of similar to Boise in the sense of pre-snap penalties. They'll get a big play, but it'll get called back or a drop or something. But I don't know, man. You just give me Parker Navarro in a big-time game. He can run around, make plays, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's get to these voicemails. How many did you say we have?
We got a lot.
We'll try to get to as many as we can.
We got 8 or 9, I think.
Okay, 615-900-4286. Call the hotline. Jeff, let's see what we got, buddy.
Group of 5 guys. It's Cody from Memphis calling back. Felt like you guys needed a little more Memphis flavor. I didn't get to call in after the USF game, but Sprouse, good to see you, man. Glad you were able to be there to see Memphis pull off that comeback against USF. That was huge. I was there, obviously, celebrated. That was fun. I'm calling on Saturday, November the 1st now. So we took care of business against Rice last night, 8-1. I mean, they did everything that they needed to. The game was over at halftime. It was 31-7. And then in that second half, it just kind of felt like, oh, well, let's go conservative. We don't have anything that we need to show too much. Don't need to get anybody hurt, although they almost left Brendan Lewis in there too long. But this is crucial. The American is, Navy just got exposed today by North Texas. East Carolina, who's only got 1 loss in the American, is taking care of business right now against Temple. But Memphis has their toughest 3-game stretch of the year coming up. It's Tulane this coming Friday in Memphis. Then we go on the road at ECU. And then final game of the season on Thanksgiving against Navy in Memphis. And I'll be there for that one too. If anybody can talk shit about Navy, it's going to be me. I did 14 years in the Air Force. My brother's in the Space Force, and I got another brother in the Air Force. So a lot of people are like, oh, it's a service academy. You can't talk shit on 'em. I've earned the right to talk shit about them. And Sprout, you have to. I know you spent some time at the Air Force Academy. So feel free to let that hate go whenever you need to. Piss on Navy. Memphis is in a good spot. 8-1, everything in front of them still. Win the next 3, go to the conference championship game, beat the hell out of North Texas, and then it's playoff time. Appreciate y'all for everything that you do for the Group 5. Love you guys. Till next time.
Appreciate you, Cody, and thank you for your service, sir.
Yeah, Cody and I shared a cold snack in the what the hell do you call it? Like the terrace, and we thought South Florida, we thought that thing was over with, buddy. And then he says, brother texts him or something, hey, Memphis is moving the ball. We go out there, all of a sudden, we got a tie game. We think, the hell's going on here? But yeah, they do. It was a couple of weeks ago, they were acting like Memphis had this easy schedule. You remember that when they they beat Arkansas, when everybody was like, oh, Memphis has this easy road. And we're like, buddy, that ain't easy at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get those games at home, but I mean, but anyway, well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, on Monday at 6:56 a.m., I'm just not seeing it. Tulane, I love Tulane. I love New Orleans. I love John Summer. I love the whole staff. But I'm not seeing it.
Not based off of the performance that they've put out there for most of the year, but interested to see how they come out after, honestly, a pretty embarrassing loss. I think they'll come out ready to go, have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, but we'll see. They got to score. They get in the red zone. They just flounder. They got to score.
See, I wonder if sorry, I know we got to go. I wonder what they'll do at quarterback this week.
Good point.
So we'll see.
I think we can knock these out because some of these are shorts, bro. So let's try and power through.
Okay.
Group of 5 guys. My name is Jared. I am a UTSA fan and alumni. I normally don't like to do this sort of thing. I prefer to just listen and lurk. But I've been listening to y'all since last season. I've never heard a UTSA fan call in, so I figured I'd do it to represent us after this huge game for us last night. So just some thoughts. I'm super happy for our guys. That we were able to get it done. And super impressed by McCown. He had a damn near perfect game. And also super happy for David Amador. He's someone that we had high expectations for going into the season, but he hadn't really been able to get it going, so he had a huge game last night. Also just wanted to say I really appreciate Coach Traylor. Like, not only is he a great coach, but he's just a good man and a good example for our players, and we're very blessed to have him in San Antonio. And then one other thing is that, y'all been kind of talking about who should be the G5 representative a little bit, and I kind of agree with y'all. I think JMU looks really good. I'm not sure if an American team would be the best just because, we're a very talented conference, but we have teams like us or like that shitty team in Houston that can punch up and beat a big dog every once in a while and expose their weaknesses. So, like how we beat Tulane last night and Memphis last year, just like this. And so, yeah, just thank you for all that you guys do. God bless the Group of 5 guys, and God bless the Group of 5. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Jared. I love that was a Rice stray, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Boy, Rice, you would talk about an embarrassing crowd the other night, Friday. I mean, Halloween, but you got a ranked team coming to town.
Yeah, they've it's been that way though.
Rice is tough. Houston,
yeah.
I mean, that market's tough. Rice is a different type of university. So
what's a refreshing take, Sprouse, is a fan just being grateful for his coach.
Isn't that something?
You don't see that too often.
But yeah, I want to talk about, he talked about James Madison. That's exactly right. If a conference might be better than another conference, that doesn't mean that one team can't be better than all the other ones. That's such a dumb take. I don't sounding a lot like SEC people. You sounding a lot like SEC
Careful.
people. Anyway,
appreciate you, Jared. Keep this thing rolling.
By the way, UTSA plays East Carolina and South Florida still. So,
and I believe
don't let them get hot.
Kenneth in the chat said ECU has won the last 2 against Memphis. Keep going.
Let's let Memphis worry about Tulane on Friday before we talk about
Group
that
of
one.
5.
That's right.
It's John calling. I was thinking about calling you during halftime of the San Diego State Aztec football game tonight, which I did not go to. I was on campus today, drove right by Snapdragon, but just decided not to go. But and I watched it, and I hopefully you guys did. But stadium is pretty, but it was homecoming, and I don't know, man. They had more people than normal, but still only halfway full homecoming. But I got to talk to you about this crazy Mountain West conference. I mean, you guys got to be laughing. How in the world does Boise lose to Fresno? I'm not joking. Like last week, as you know, we talked about Aztecs put a beat down on Fresno because they were so bad. And this week, that's college football though. Then this week they come back and they beat Boise. I know the quarterback went down, and so, in the first quarter. But that's another thing. Jesse, I think you played quarterback at up in the Bay Area, one of my favorite schools that was highlighted at
Last Chance U,
which was one of my favorite shows. But these teams, they just stick with their one quarterback and just play him straight across. And I think in some of these blowout wins, they should take the starter out and let the backup guy get some reps, because this quarterback for Boise today he just got put in there. That's a tough way to go in. No experience, just go. And it happens time and time again. You watch the quarterback here today with Wyoming. We played Wyoming today. I mean, their quarterback, they went through 3 quarterbacks today, and their starter was horrible. I mean, if you look at the scores of the Aztecs had, the 3 interceptions, dude, these throws you cannot make. They were absolute easy picks. I just don't get it. And then, of course, the second string, he got hurt, and then they brought in the third string, and he played for a little bit, and then they brought the starter back in, who was worse than the other 2. So I don't know, and you see it time and time again in college football. I know you can't do quarterback by committee, but man, you gotta, when you're getting blown out or you're blowing someone out, you gotta put the starter on the sidelines and let some other people get some reps, because if you don't, one play, someone gets hurt, and boom, now you got some guy who can't really run the offense. Anyways, Hawaii got beat by San Jose State. That's what I'm saying. Mountain West, it's like crazy. All these teams that should win are losing, and this and that every week is crazy. But here's the thing, you guys. I'm an Aztec fan, but they're 7-1. So, hey, here's John, take 2. I got cut off, but no biggie. So anyways, here's where I'm going with this. Aztecs are 7-1, and you hear some of these announcers on CBS Sports. Hopefully you guys caught some of the game. They're like number 2 in FBS on one defensive stat, leading on another defensive stat. And the defense is actually amazingly good. These are some tough dudes, and they play some good straight-up ball, and they hit hard, no doubt. But I'm telling you, we're 7-1. We're good, but we ain't 7-1 good. And here's the interesting part. The next 4 games for the Aztecs are where the season's really going to play. We got some harder competition. I think it's Hawaii next week, and then San Jose, then Boise, and then New Mexico. So, hey, but the thing is, we're 7-1. So even if you lose all 4 of those games, you're 7-5, and you still go to a bowl, and you still have considered a good year. Bottom line, it's the luckiest schedule I have ever seen. But not to take away from the Aztecs, but I just don't get it, man. The schedule can make or break your whole, not only your, probably a coach's career kind of thing, right? Because now he's Sean Lewis is all hot and 7-1. Boy, well, hopefully some team wants him and pays him, and he leaves this program and we get a new coach, because I still don't like him. But we're winning in spite of everything, and the defense is amazing. Our offense is not. Although Napier, he's great. Lucky Sutton is great. And, yeah, it's a good team, but not a great team. Well, check it out. But we're definitely in the running for Mountain West championship for sure. We'll be in that game. Now, we'll see how it plays out. Great stuff, guys. Keep it going. I'm out.
John cracks me up, dude.
What's it going to take for John to come on here and say, I'm a San Diego State fan and we're good? No, but he is right. I mean, we talked about that a few minutes ago with their next four is all four are contenders still. San Jose State, maybe, but still in the Mountain West, some of the better teams. But now Boise, Madsen's out. So they might just, but he's spot on. We've talked about that with Middle for years with the schedule. Yep. You when you have your gauntlet up front, it's real easy for everybody to kind of pack it in, especially when you play your Alabamas and Georgias and your Michigans in the first couple of weeks of the season, and then you're injured, and it just plays it where if you can start hot, you get some momentum, you get some confidence, you install your whole offense, and then you might beat a team later in the season that you would not have beaten in the first week or two.
Appreciate it, John. Always
it's a great call.
Yeah, always love hearing from you. All right, let's keep this thing rolling. Couple more.
Group of five guys. Mark D, aka Pit 13-9, checking in. Wanted to get us all ready because on Tuesday, the first CFP rankings are going to drop. And there's two things we need to remember from last year. First off, there were 6 teams in the preseason 2024 poll that were not even in the top 12 of the initial CFP rankings. As Sprouse would say, what are we doing, Jeff, with these preseason polls? The second thing to remember, the group of 5 teams will get ranked, but there's a very good chance they're going to be paired with another team from their conference. Looking at last year's rankings, Boise was ranked in the top 12, but they had UNLV in the lower part of the ranking at 20th to 24th ranked throughout. That was the committee's way of keeping the G5 to a single team. Boise State loses, UNLV will move up. They also had Army paired up with Tulane for several of the rankings. Boise and UNLV stumble, we move in the American champion. It was their way of only having one team from the G5. Let's see if they do that again this year. Good news, the ACC and Big 12 teams and their fans are finally catching on that they aren't part of this big club either. With that said, back to the show. God bless the group of 5. God bless the group of 5 guys.
Mark D always coming with the stats, man.
He is. Yeah, well, and interesting enough, speaking of the ACC and the Big 12, the ACC, something to look out for here because Miami was their propped up school and they ain't going to win the ACC. So, barring something wild. And now Georgia Tech was the other one. They were like, okay, we can now Georgia Tech just lost. So how many are they going to put in from the ACC? It looks like maybe just one champ, which who the hell knows who it's going to be. Might be Georgia Tech, might be Louisville. Virginia, I think, is in the mix. But if Georgia Tech goes and loses to Georgia in a couple of weeks, that'll probably eliminate them. They're going to try to they're trying to put 5 or 6 SEC teams in this.
No doubt.
Yeah, and they might. And look, and maybe they should. You know what I mean? But we'll see what I don't know. We'll see what happens. The Big 12, BYU still undefeated? They're going to be
yeah, I think so.
BYU and Texas Tech, I think, are both in the mix for the Big 12 still. Notre Dame. Be real interested to see what they do with Notre Dame. Notre Dame, so now you're looking at resume and you think, well, at first you could say, well, Notre Dame lost by a combined, whatever it was, 4 points to Texas A&M and Miami. It's like, well, now you're looking at Miami, like, well, they're not very good. You know, it's that same thing for South Florida. Like, well, that's a bad loss. But we shall see. We'll see Tuesday. I'm sure we'll be pissed about it one way or another.
Sure.
See you Wednesday morning to talk about it.
Let's try and knock out these last couple.
Hey boys, this is Ryan calling from Cleveland, Ohio. Calling about the upcoming Battle of the Bricks in Athens, the 102nd version of this rivalry going on. First week of action coming up. Just wanted to say that the Bobcats are incredibly amazing at home. The only team to beat them since 2022, since they named the field after Frank Solich, was the Miami Redhawks. And they're coming to town Tuesday night. Yeah, just wanted to put the bat signal out for all Bobcats to pack Pete in Tuesday night. I know I'm hauling my ass down 3 hours to Athens from Cleveland. I'll be there. I might be walking in a couple minutes into the game, but I'll be there. It is a blackout game, ESPN2. Hopefully the BS with YouTube TV is done by then. Yeah, just putting the bat signal out. Go Bobcats. Bleed green. OU, oh yeah. God bless the group of 5 guys. God bless Athens, Ohio. God bless Maction. Let's go.
I love it. I love the new callers. Appreciate it, Ryan.
We got to get to Athens, Ohio, by the way.
That was actually one that me and Scarlett were thinking about going to because there's an artist doing a show or something like this week, but that was like months ago when, we're due to open the new deli on Monday, so we're going to do nothing.
Yeah, I'll read you. Yeah, Miami has the all-time lead in the Battle of the Bricks. Not by much, though. It's a very streaky series, by the way, if you look at the history on that. But anyway, what else we got?
This one's interesting. It's kind of two-parter, but it's very short.
Tulane Greenway. Hey. Hey, suck for Summerall. We ain't got to worry about Coach going anywhere now. I ain't look at it. Last year he inherited Willie Fritz's recruits and still managed to lose 5 games. The last 3 were blowout losses. This year, 2 blowout losses, 2 come from behind wins, 2 hold them off wins. What power school is going to invest in a G5 coach? You don't believe me? Google Billy Napier.
Is that the governor?
Hold on, here's the other part.
What is becoming about college football? All these coaches getting fired. College football with this win now attitude, I think it's ruining everything. No, maybe we ought to open a portal for the coaches. Hell, you got coaching now with kids going through the portal. They don't know their coach. The coach don't know the kids. Let's open a portal for the coaches. That way the kids won't know their coaches. Sounds crazy, huh? That's what it's coming to. Won't be long. You're going to have the P2 and the don't give it hell rest.
I mean,
that it?
That's it. That's what but he's not far off.
Yeah,
because
he's not wrong.
We talked about at the top of the show of they don't know their players, and you have to try and get 80-something new guys every year to learn your offense, learn your defense, figure out what you got, all in such a short amount of time.
You know, and I meant to talk about this at the beginning of the show, but with this YouTube thing, I mean, is it not closer and closer to Disney being the one to take their little SEC and their little Big Ten? Just go, man. Leave CBS and Fox with the rest of college football, and we'll be just fine.
That's right. Let's get to our last one. Old JJ.
Group of 5 guys. Joe Judkins here. Jeff, get that buzz bell ready because I'm about to ring it like a garbage truck backing down a 100-foot alley, brother. How in the can you expect to win a football game at the Division I level, averaging 21 damn inches per rush? That's right. Shaq's freaking shoe size, 21 inches. And while that may be a good size indicator for other parts of the body, it ain't worth a when it's your rushing total. We totaled 63 feet rushing, or 756 inches. You take our 2 longest runs out of the mix, and we averaged losing 3 feet per carry. Our O-line was as poorish a performance as I've ever witnessed at Troy. Their D-line ran through us like a 9-month-old first taste of Gerber peas and carrots. Fast, often, and unwipeable. How we managed to get 490 feet of passing is beyond me. 15 feet per attempt. And on defense, well, suffice to say, their slot receivers and running backs ran down the seam like a 16-year-old boy mauling a prom dress. Relentless and no stopping them. 9 sacks. 9. So together, with our rushing attack of 63 full feet on 34 attempts, and our passing attack of 34 attempts for 498 feet, we averaged just over 8 feet per offensive play. 8 damn feet. Couldn't run past my van in the parking lot. Terrible. Also, I hope Troy and the Sun Belt in general made a buttload of money by moving homecoming kickoff to 7 o'clock local. Players dicking around all day with the parade, the family, the girlfriend, the bullshit. All damn day. And then Trojan Walk is 3 hours prior, or 4 o'clock local, and they get to go get ready. I honestly believe that played a role. First quarter, we looked like straight-up elephant scat. I know we're still in the thick of the belt. Goose Crowder did warm up on the sideline, but me thinks they will save him for a possible medical red shirt. Only played in 3 games so far this season. Something to keep an eye on. To my friend Terry Johnson, congratulations on beating the snot out of Mobile, Texas. Anytime they lose takes the sting off of anything else that might have gone or be ailing me. Lastly, I thank God for getting me home last night safe. Wife opted to stay home for this one, so I didn't have a right seater on this trip. Saw 39 deer, yes, 39 as I drove through the pucker brush between my house and Pike County, Alabama. Always scary this time of year just before hunting season. Thank you, gentlemen, for what you do for us. Cannot express how grateful this community is to have you. Go Trojans, but please, for the love of all things decent, find an offense before we play ODU. JJ out.
Appreciate you, Joe.
World class.
Top notch, always.
World class call from Joe. That's all we got,
That's
Jeff.
it.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy the show, make sure you hit subscribe wherever you get your best podcasts, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Believe Network. Follow us on all the social platforms at Group of Five Guys. Maction starts tomorrow. We will see you bright and early Wednesday morning. We're out of here.